The mainstream media will tell you that the Dutch farmer protesters are about environmental irresponsibility. But could it be that this is the Great Reset in action? Who knows if big tech platforms treat people that convey radical news in the way that they should? At our first ever community event this weekend, I had a fantastic time. I spoke to Vandana Shiva, the great activist and scholar, a woman who ain't afraid to bring down the globalist agenda, a woman who ain't afraid to call out Bill Gates and other technocratic globalist tyrants. These are her words, not mine. I talked to her about the Dutch farmer protests. While the mainstream media may be portraying the Dutch farmer protests as an anti-environmentalist movement peopled by selfish farmers, Vandana Shiva, with her experience in how corrupt, centralised agricultural, monocultural giants are oppressing independent farmers all over the world. This is connected to the land grab of Bill Gates. This is connected to corruption of companies like Monsanto. This whole fertiliser situation is a scam. They present it as a green ideology. Oh, we can't keep using these fertilizers, and anyone who lives in the rural area will know that when those fertilizers get used, you think, oh God, is this a bit dodgy? But the reason that farmers are using those fertilizers is because it's necessary economically, because of the pressure they are under financially, often because of government enforced imperatives. And the objective isn't to get the farmers to behave in an organic, responsible, ecologically apposite manner. No, far from it. It's in order to bankrupt the farmers so that their land can be grabbed. My mind was blown by that. This shows you how the Great Reset operates. It uses a green agenda, and just so you know, I agree with the green agenda. I think that the planet should be treated with love and respect, that we should see ourselves as in harmony with it. But when regulations are passed down from a globalist level and it affects the lives of ordinary farmers, it's the duty of all of us to support them, to stand in solidarity, to give them time to make those transitions, to say to the farming and agricultural community, we'll support you by buying your products if you make these concessions and changes, which we'll agree between us. It doesn't need to be mediated by technocratic globalist bodies. We, the people, can make these decisions together.
We do face a serious crisis caused by industrial agriculture. 50% greenhouse gases come from farming with fossil fuels and chemicals, and shifting food long distance, transforming it with ultra-processing, packaging it. All of this has added up to greenhouse gases. But that same system that is punishing the farmer is as punishing the earth and is punishing the consumers through disease. When did it start? The chemical fertilizers are a byproduct of Hitler's regime. The IG Farben group of cartel of corporations, combined with Standard Oil of the US, used fossil fuels to fix atmospheric nitrogen by burning fossil fuels at very high temperature. Now, there are better ways to fix nitrogen, and that is, well, let the earthworms give you 40 kilograms per hectare. Let the soil mycorrhiza work. So what's happened is the same people who are pushing a very anti-nature, anti-people, anti-life globalization agenda shaped a system that has caused a problem, forced the farmers into that system to use chemical fertilizers, to get the cows off the grass and into factory farms, then feed them with GMO soya that's chopping down the Amazon. 40% of soya goes for animal feed. Another 40% goes for biofuel. It's not feeding the world. All of this was forced on people through regulation. It was forced through subsidies. 50% of the European tax money was going to create this kind of agriculture. Now, the same people who caused the problem are saying, farmers, you're responsible. It's a bit like saying to a person who went obese because of junk food, to say, you are responsible. No, the junk food industry is responsible. The Pepsis and the Cokes are responsible. The fertilizer. These are identifiable players. And there's a principle of justice called polluter pays. The original cause of pollution is the manufacturers and the governments who subsidized it, and the governments that promoted the false idea that without chemicals you can't grow food, and billionaires today who are promoting that same false idea, Bill Gates. And I think we definitely need to see the world that the greedy want to create. All of natural resources in their hands, all of land in their hands. The same billionaires who are telling the farmers, forget the land, take money and leave it, want that land. The same people who say, oh, food is unnecessary, we're going to make lab food, are the very people who are then also investing in land to have real food. It's the ultimate colonization that's happening, and it's condensing everything that's gone wrong. In my view, the witch hunts were really killing those people who lived and taught the life that we are part of nature. The witches were teachers of oneness with nature. They were the ones who were hunted down. And that for a century or 2 centuries, 9 million people killed in Europe. It was a killing of the ecological mind. The colonialism, then the chemical agriculture from Hitler's Germany, the new GMO push, the earlier push, the new push. All of this is combining to say we will disenfranchise you, we will not let you make your living, we will not let you have a livelihood, because with the earth, with her animals, with her trees, we can create life. The fact that people are marching in every country on cost of living should become a deeper question. The right to live.
When so many powerful forces combine to create a power matrix, why is it that these ideas are continually dismissed as conspiracy theories? When you just described, the killing of the ecological mind through the witch hunt, when you described that, explained that colonization is in a sense an extrapolation on the dominion that's already been established with a domestic population, and what we are seeing now is a billionaire class land grab, where the idea that we will have unmediated relationships with nature becomes less and less likely. Why is it so difficult to have these conversations, and why is it so difficult to achieve alliances when it seems that there's so many of us have shared interests? Why is it that why is there not right now a global agricultural movement that ordinary people are engaged in?
Well, I think the 3 reasons why the natural alliances are not emerging without effort, and we will have to put love and effort into it. My next commitment is to reach out to conventional farmers and show them it is possible to have ecological agriculture rich in nitrogen. In our movement, Navdanya, the nitrogen in our soil through ecological methods is 100% more than it was 20 years ago. And in the chemically farmed soils, it's 22% less. In effect, nitrogen fertilizers are a way of extracting soil nitrogen by killing the soil organisms. Why don't people know this? Number one, the science was distorted. When I started this work in 1984, the text used to say soil is an empty container. The soil is living, the richest ecosystem. Without fertilizers, you cannot feed the world. And that is what was taught in every agriculture university. It was all our public money was used to push agriculture in that direction. The second reason why people don't know and we are not having these conversations is the billionaires have bought the mainstream media. They've totally bought the mainstream media. And even the social media is their media.
I think we all ought to wear our yellow vests, our orange vests, our green vests, whatever color it is, as a symbol of our servitude and solidarity. And that's what happened in France. And it's happening all over the world, but our news doesn't want us to know it. You can go to any truck stop and you can buy a safety vest. Whether you're an office worker, whether you're a professional manager, you're still getting screwed by the system. And I think if we started to wear our vests around, our safety vests, a lot of truck drivers don't, especially young ones who wear flip-flops when they're driving, they don't like the vest because it is kind of a symbol. It makes it feel like you're a grunt worker. They like to wear Hawaiian shirts and flip-flops and make it seem like they're anything but a truck driver. That's cool, I understand that. But then I think also we need to understand that we are workers. What do they, in Italian you say paesano, paesano, fellow peasant. I think we need to get that idea that we're fellow peasants, even the professional managers. We're all in this together. And I think the masters would get nervous if everybody started wearing those vests. They'd be able to see us coming for sure.